Hello, PLP Geometry. Welcome to video 2 in Unit 3. So let's recall that I am titling, sorry about that. I am titling Unit 3, More with Triangles. So Unit 3, More with Triangles. Okay, so there's my shorthand for the title of this unit. And this is video number 2. And we're going to look at two types of triangles. We're going to look at isosceles triangles, so isosceles, and equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles. So these are two special types of triangles that, again, they provide us with some fun algebra-y problems. So we're going to talk about these special triangles. Okay, so the first triangle we're going to talk about is called an isosceles triangle. All right, they got that SC in the middle, right? So it's hard to spell. So an isosceles triangle. So what you have to remember about an isosceles triangle is that there's going to be two congruent sides and two congruent angles. Okay, so we're going to draw an isosceles triangle and talk about a whole bunch of different things. All right, so we're going to draw triangle ABC. I'm going to try to draw it a little bit wider. Okay, so when I drew it, I tried to make these top two sides look the same, right? Because those are going to be my congruent sides. So here's triangle ABC. Sorry about this corner, okay? So first off, let's talk about the sides. So this side AB and this side BC are going to be the congruent sides. So in this picture, segment AB is going to be congruent to segment BC. We call these sides the legs. So those are the legs of the isosceles triangle. The third side is then called the base. Now again, it's not always on the bottom, but in this case it is. So AC, segment AC is the base. Now, the angles that are congruent are going to be the angles down here on the base. So this angle here at A and this angle here at C are congruent. So angle A will be congruent to angle C. Those are called the base angles. So these are the base angles. Okay. We call the other angle at the top here, or I shouldn't say at the top, but in this case the top, between the legs, we call this angle right here, we call that the vertex angle. Okay? And again, it's the vertex angle because it's in between the congruent sides. So this is the terminology you need to know for an isosceles triangle. Okay, we have another type of triangle to talk about. This other type of triangle is called an equilateral triangle. So let's talk about an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. So for an equilateral triangle, that equilateral means equal sides. So this triangle has 3 congruent sides and 3 congruent angles. Now, when we say it has 3 congruent angles, we also name this thing equiangular. Equiangular. Angular. Oh, sorry. I'm going to use a quotation mark to finish the first one. Equiangular. Now, if we think about this, right, from the last video in unit 1, or number 1, we know that the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. But if they're all 3 the same or congruent, if we divide 180 by 3, we get 60 degrees. And that is going to be the angle measure of each of these congruent angles, 60. So if I draw a triangle, I'm going to try to draw all the sides the same this time. It's not easy, but I'll try my best. Right? We're going to call this triangle X, Y, Z. Because this is equilateral, all three sides are congruent, so I put a dash on all three sides. All three angles are congruent, so I put an arc on all three angles. And again, each of those angles is going to be 60 degrees. So I can put 60 there, and 60 there. Now, as we get to learn about more special figures, we're going to do some constructions of these figures. So constructing equilateral triangle is one of those constructions. Now, the state has us do it in a circle. So that's how I'm going to present this to you. So again, we haven't talked about circles very much, but again, this is just learning how to construct the equilateral triangle. All right. So what we're going to do, and again, we'll write down the steps just like we did for the other ones. So we're going to construct an equilateral triangle. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So what you will be given is you'll be given a circle. So given, you'll have a circle. And this circle will have a center. Let's call it C. Okay. So step one, what you're going to do here is you're going to open the compass from any point on the circle to the center. Open compass from any point on the circle. That's sloppy. So I'm actually going to put the picture to the side. So sorry about that. On the circle, again, you can leave it where it was. Any point on the circle to the center. And throughout this proof, this compass does not change. So do not change. So we need one compass the entire time, one compass setting. So what this means is we have our circle with center C. Okay? We're going to open the compass from any point on the circle to center C. So that's my compass. And again, what we just did is we used it to measure the radius of that circle. Okay? And again, my point is here on that point on the circle, and my pencil is on the center. Okay? All right, we'll try to fit step 2 on here. So step 2, I'll do it in green. So now we're going to draw an arc across the circle to make a point on the circle. So we have this point, So we're going to draw an arc. Draw an, again, sometimes these N's and A's I don't do a very good job of. Draw an arc across the circle. Across the circle to make a point on the circle. Draw an arc across the circle to make a point on the circle. So here's what I mean, right? So we have our circle. We have our center C, right? Our compass is on the circle here. We're going to then move it and make an arc. So again, our compass was here. We're going to move that compass and we're going to make an arc right there. That will give us our first point. Right, I'm going to put a P there. Okay. Okay, so now we have 1 point on our circle. Okay. Step 3. So now we're going to move the compass to the new point. So again, don't change the compass setting. So we're going to move the compass to the new point and draw another arc across the circle. And draw another arc across the circle. I probably want to leave some space over here, okay? We're going to repeat until we have 6 points on the circle. Repeat until you have 6 arcs or points on the circle. Okay, so again, in our last step, right, we had a center C, and we had made this arc, and I called that point P. So now you're going to take your compass with the same setting, and you're going to draw an arc here. There's our next point. And then we put the compass here, and draw an arc here. That's the next point. And we keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until you have 6 arcs drawn across your circle, just like that. And again, we don't change the compass setting the entire time. We just keep moving it to the next point, draw the next arc, move it, draw the next arc, and so on until we have 6. Okay, so then our final step, step 4, we are going to connect every other point. Every other point. That's going to give us 3 points total with segments. To create the equilateral triangle. To create the equilateral triangle. So again, if I take my picture, here's my center C. I have arc, 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 and arc. I'm going to connect every other one. So let's start here. I'm going to connect it to here. I'm going to connect it to here and back to the original. And that triangle is going to be my equilateral triangle, and I'm done with the construction. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly how to do it in Delta Math, because that's where we're going to do it at. Okay, so here is my picture of my circle. There is center C. So I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to pick a point on the circle, and I'm going to drag it to P. Okay, the center. I'm going to draw an arc. Okay, there's one of my points. I'm going to drag the center of the circle, make another arc. There's a second point. Drag the center of the circle, make another arc. There's 3. Drag the center of the circle, make another arc. There's 4. Drag the center, another arc. There's 5. Drag the center, another arc. There's 6. So there's my 6 arcs or 6 points around the circle. Now, I grab the segment tool and I connect every other. So here to here, here to there to there. And there is going to be my equilateral triangle. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in class.